Welcome to another episode of Inside Startup Investing. As always, I am your host, Chris Lustrino, founder and CEO of KingsCrowd. Inside Startup Investing is a #1 podcast for learning about the best startups and investors in the online private markets. If you are a startup investor, this is a show for you. This podcast is powered by KingsCrowd's proprietary rating technology that helps us to uncover the best founders and stories that you need to hear about before clicking invest. Now, before we get started, we want to thank our sponsor, LawCloud, the premier solution for founders to prepare to raise capital online. Whether you need to file a Form C, a Form 1A, or a subscription agreement, LawCloud provides the lowest cost, easiest to use toolkit for founders to make raising capital online easier than ever. Now, on to today's show. Today, I am joined by Mike Friedman, founder and CEO of Moneyline Sports. With the football season kicking off here real soon, I actually think this is a highly relevant and fun topic to discuss. If you are into sports betting, Moneyline Sports is a company you're going to want to learn more about. I've gotten to know Mike over the past several months, and I really love the business that they're building. And frankly, I think it would be very, very helpful to me, someone who is a novice in the sports betting space, hopefully do things in a little bit more of an intelligent manner. So with that, I'm going to kick it off here. Mike, thank you very, very much for joining us here today.
Hey, Chris. Thanks for having us. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Absolutely. So Mike, can you tell us a little bit about your background to start, and then what is Moneyline Sports?
Yeah. So I've been a Wall Street guy, Chris, for almost 20 years now. Started off as one of the youngest brokers without an MBA degree at Bear Stearns many years ago. When we left Bear, and everybody knows why, started my own trading firm and fund, and that evolved very quickly into First Level Capital. First Level Capital, we are a registered venture capital and private equity firm based out of New York City. I am also a limited partner with Alexander Capital, running an $800 million plus unicorn IPO fund, and our fund has been involved and lucky enough to be involved in some of the biggest deals on the planet, from Airbnb, Spotify, DraftKings, and it was actually our exit out of DraftKings that really gave me the idea of getting back involved in the online gaming space, seeing how legislation was moving forward in the U.S. very favorably. In Canada, now we're talking about over 30 states in the U.S. that have regulated online gaming laws. And actually not even my first entrance into the gaming space. So like company Interactive Games, we made slot machines for a lot of the Las Vegas casinos and Indian casinos in California. I brought the celebrities to the titles, and we did Jeff Foxworthy, we did Animal House, and one of the first progressive machines, Ed McMahon, if some of your listening audiences remembers Ed McMahon from the Johnny Carson show, way back then, we did the Ed McMahon $1 Million Madness progressive slot machine, one of my favorable moments and a great story in history. So that's really when I decided to do something a bit different, especially after DraftKings and some of the other public gaming deals with Moneyline Sports. Moneyline Sports was born just over a year ago, and we came in with the idea, with everything that's happening in the artificial intelligence space today, ChatGPT, and where we saw the street going and deals, merging these technologies with online sports betting. You said yourself that as a novice bettor, and that's one of the problems that I really wanted to address with Moneyline, doing what we do, being a leader of next generation predictive sports, analytics, data, and giving that guy, rather than taking $500 and asking his wife from their joint checking account instead of buying groceries and betting it on his favorite game or favorite team, was giving novice bettors, fans, and professional sports bettors the tools and analytics using our predictive analysis, our machine learning, and our proprietary algorithms, creating this platform that gives you the inside edge, pointing you to the exact bets, where to place it, what sportsbook to place it with, and at what time and what odds, almost what we call value betting and arbitrage plays that with these technologies that have intersected over the last year are available now. And that's what we're doing with Moneyline Sports.
That's fascinating. I was recently playing around with the DraftKings app when I was in Chicago. I was at a Chicago Cubs game, and I downloaded the app and I started playing around with it. And I was absolutely amazed by one, just the breadth of opportunities there are to bet on now, right? Basically every sport in the United States,
Sure.
as low as, things like the USL and soccer, right? I mean, literally everything you could bet on. And then it's so real time. It's almost like investing in the stock market. You can invest or place a bet and place out of that bet within minutes. It's no longer waiting for the end outcome to get your return. You could potentially get it in game, which is kind of wild. So with the complexity of the game growing, the game of betting growing, can you tell us about some of the features and capabilities and things people can expect when using your platform to kind of find those potential bets that could lead to better returns?
We are just debuting our initial sports platform called Sports Trader AI. And what that does, in fact, people calling me about it right now, they're so excited about to hear it released. We acquired the platform that is presently battlefield tested out of Europe that handles 60% of the syndicate betting for sports betting at Betfair in Europe. So what that means is it's almost like a Bloomberg terminal to use stock trading sort of language, Chris. It shows you the best lines, what's happening, and allows you to not only enter a bet, but exit the bet as well, just like you were using a stock trading platform. And that's what we're calling Sports Trader AI. It's almost the E-Trade for sports betting. So it combines all the lines, it combines all the odds, every major sport in the U.S. mainly we focus on in North America, NFL, MLB, college sports, of course, soccer, all of them. And then it points you, because our saying in Moneyline Sports is, it's about the math, not intuition. And with our MIT guys, I've got Harvard guys, all the way down to Vegas sharps that are sitting behind the cages at Sportsbook that understand when the lines are moving and where the money is going. We take all of that with Moneyline Sports. We filter that down and run it through our algo platform that you can see, and then point you, because with this technology, there are arbitrages between two given lines at any given time. And if you get it at the right time, just like using a Bloomberg or a Metastock that points you to that stock play at that very moment, buy it now with this book in this location and this game and go with this team, that's what we're doing. So it's really incredible technology, and actually the first forward-facing, consumer-facing platform that I know of where people can actually look at streaming sports, listen to inside views from our streaming content, and have all that information in front of them in order to make that intelligent bet. I'm also very excited. I announced it just today, so it's fortuitous that we're having this podcast today on my LinkedIn platform for Moneyline Sports. We have just launched our first mobile app that is called Bet Wallet. We at Moneyline Sports own 100% of the application, both trademarked in U.S. and Canada. And Bet Wallet, we're calling that, I love to use taglines, as you're going to find out, the Expedia of sports betting. Rather than working that DraftKings model or the Fanatics model or these massive companies have to feed revenue, what we're doing, it's the first sportsbook aggregator app with one login, one wallet, all the books, all the lines, with intelligent betting solutions. So once you log in, that was one of the reasons why I developed the app. My friends would say, I'm not an avid sports bettor, but I love to bet on sports for my teams. But the one thing I hate is logging into my DraftKings account, to log out of my DraftKings account, to go to my FanDuel account. And that's what Bet Wallet is. One login, all the books, all the odds, with streaming SMS alerts for when there are odds changes or a significant event happening in that game. So we're very excited. It's a test pilot program right now on Android phones. Anybody interested in being part of our test pilot program and you have an Android platform, feel free to DM me, Mike Friedman, or just info@moneylinesports.com, and we'd love to get you out that platform. Love to hear consumer and customer feedback, especially if you're thinking about becoming a shareholder of Moneyline Sports.
Can we talk a little bit about what the business model is for this?
We are a subscriber-based revenue model as well as CPA and affiliate revenue model, and I'll tell you how that works. So for Sports Trader AI, you're able to sign up and you get everything, the full package, meaning the platform downloaded to your account, includes bet tracking to all your sportsbook accounts. So it pulls that information. You see where you are and what your standings are, complete back end of charts and graphs and all your bet tracking history. And that's a monthly fee. SMS alerts, a bit extra for that if you want alerts directly to your phone. And what happens is Moneyline Sports not only gets that straight subscriber revenue, but also if you have one existing sportsbook account, we found that the average bettor or even fan that wants to dip into the pool of sports betting, which Grand View research says by 2023 is going to be a $182 billion industry, they typically have 1 to 3 sportsbook accounts. So even when you sign up for a free trial, the platform makes sure that you have an existing live sportsbook account to place these trades. And by signing up even for that free trial, Chris, we get you to tap on those affiliate links of whether it's FanDuel, MGM, Wynn, DraftKings, whichever one. And we have the top 15 books in the U.S. on our platform, so there's plenty of choices. We get those CPA fees that run between $350 to $500 through our affiliate agreement. So even those subscribers coming in for the free trial, we're looking at almost $1,000 per new user. And just launching these this week with about 150 users, we're looking to be between $250,000 and $500,000 on monthly revenue, I would say by the end of fourth quarter. And that's just on a very conservative 1 to 500 new users a month.
I'm just curious to hear, we know that betting companies are infamously unprofitable and have really struggled to grow profitably in the past several years. So I'm curious what it is about your model that you think will lead to more sustainable growth.
Yeah, excellent question, Chris. And obviously as a guy involved in public markets, revenues, top line, profitability, one of the most important issues, especially as we approach our own public offering and IPO with Moneyline Sports. But we have a much different business model than most of the other companies out there. And let's use DraftKings as an example. Big company, but the biggest problem in this industry, being a single sports book as your revenue model, is customer acquisition today. And customer acquisitions for the sports betting industry have gone through the roof. You're looking at, in some cases, over 700, 750, even as high as 850, 875 for customer acquisition models. The beauty about what we're doing, and by the way, those customers have no loyalty. They're going to place their bet at the book that's giving them the best bonus, the biggest bonus, bet forgiveness, and there is no loyalty. They're moving from FanDuel to DraftKings to MGM on a whim. It's just essentially whatever works for them. And that's where we've come in with our model at Moneyline Sports that's extremely disruptive to that model. To us, we are agnostic to all the sports books. We brought them in as partners. So we have the top 15 books in North America on our platform. So to me, using that example again, as I mentioned earlier, our Bet Wallet being the Expedia type mobile app for sports betting, it doesn't matter if you place your bet with MGM, with FanDuel or DraftKings. To us, it's about getting our subscribers the best play with the best odds and the best bet placement we can for our subscribers. So we don't care if you place that bet with FanDuel or DraftKings. To us, it's about driving traffic to the platform. So we are not dependent on driving users to our sports book. It is our platform that we're bringing directed and targeted traffic to for our subscribers. And these books all want to participate because we are lowering their customer acquisition costs by driving these subscribers.
Yeah, I think that makes a ton of sense. And I certainly am a believer, even with the King's Crowd model of, kind of being that aggregator sitting in the center of the universe, and you don't care where people decide to go. At the end of the day, if they're coming through you because they need a one-stop shop to find everything and be more efficient and effective in what they're doing, that's a really good way to build a profitable business. So I am curious to hear what your plans are for driving growth into this business going forward.
For us, it's all about our marketing campaigns, customer acquisitions. We're heavily involved in right now in looking for brand ambassadors, both celebrities as well as retired professional athletes. Get the product in their hands, get them using it. These people have millions of subscribers on their socials. The ink is still wet, but it looks like we just brought on a tremendous UFC and MMA fighter into Moneyline as a brand ambassador for our bet wallet. We are doing stuff like podcasts, media, television campaigns as well. But I think it's really about our commitment to social media and these influencers that will be bringing subscribers to us, as well as some of the top marketing agencies in the industry that presently do work for the big guys, bringing in customer acquisition.
What do you think your core user is going to be or has been to date?
We're focusing on a demographic of the 21 to 40-year-old that just is a sports fan, loves sports, thinking about getting into betting, doesn't know where to start, doesn't begin to know what an over-under, plus 150, minus 225, whatever it may be, teaching him how to do it responsibly, with responsible gaming, and saying, look, if you're going to go ahead and bet on your favorite team by emotion, go ahead and do that. But let Moneyline Sports, or through Sports Trader AI, that is an artificial intelligence platform that is running simulation over simulation over simulation for gameplays, individual players, how they would perform in any given situation, injury reports, weather reports, taking all that in a funnel and giving you as much edge as possible. And right now we're shooting, even for MLB, over 70%. That's pretty strong. So if we could take away any bit of risk, just like, again, the math is the same as picking a stock, as trading sports. People don't realize, a lot of the brokers that I speak to, and we all know Wall Street is the biggest gambling house in the world, right? These guys are trading markets from 9 to 4, or 9:30 to 4, and then going in and betting on sports, which is a lot more exciting the way the market's been going sideways these days. And that is our user. And by giving them those tools and that filter to say, if you're going to bet responsibly, based on these odds, based on this game, and based on predictive analysis, this is who you should go with. And that's my goal, to give the user, subscriber, novice bettor, at least a toolbox that has proven history. And every day our bets that's being kicked out through the platforms for entertainment purposes of only. And please, I want to put that disclaimer there, betting should be done responsibly and at your own risk. We post our plays on a daily basis for everybody to see.
So talking a little bit about that outcomes data, I think you hit on a couple of things. In the MLB, you're having a 70% kind of hit rate with your kind of predicted outcomes. Can you talk a little bit more about some of the data you have around performance of your models?
Absolutely. So again, the predictive analysis AI tools, we have several of some of the largest data partners that we're involved in, either directly or through our partnerships. Sports Data, Sports Radar. Our partners deal with Genius Sports, and Genius is a tremendous partnership because they actually have the NFL licenses and are directly on the field. What it's all about, initially in the interview, Chris, you were talking about micro betting is a big thing. The technology in some spots, some applications, is not quite there yet. A football game, an NBA game moves very quickly. So can you get that bet down on the first 15 points of a shooter, or who's going to make the next field goal or touchdown? And if you're doing that in-play betting, it involves a lot of technology. There's a lot of moving pieces. So right now, Moneyline is focused on pre-match, halftime, and individual player props, and we can easily handle that. We're talking about expanding into the micro betting space, as more technology becomes available. People don't even know this, but if there is latency involved in the data, in the odds, and in the player movement, a lot of times people don't even realize on the field they could be on third down, but as it's being telecast and streamed to some streaming services, you're actually showing first down. And this is how the sports books are really able to make their money. Not too many people know that. So our data comes from the biggest providers in the industry, already providing AI, predictive analysis, data tools to the industry. And to me, that's about how you build a company. Make sure you have the right partners that specialize in their given field and build upon your own proprietary data and platforms. And that's what we're doing with Moneyline.
In terms of coverage, are you across all sports that are available on those platforms, or do you kind of stay to the major sports?
We're sticking with major sports. So again, right now it's MLB. Not a lot of excitement with, I have to be honest, I'm not a big baseball fan. It moves a little bit slow for me. But MLB, NFL, NBA, NCAA, football, basketball, March Madness, FIFA, soccer, women's sports as well. So yes, we cover the gamut. It's really about licensing. And that's why we're in the middle of this last raid, because these licenses tend to be a little bit expensive depending on the data feeds. So I want to make sure that we're covering all sports for every user that may be of interest, whether you like baseball, football, or basketball. Moneyline Sports, we want to be the go-to.
Now, I know one of the things that one of the reasons why you're doing kind of this equity crowdfunding raise is to give an opportunity to bring on folks who are both interested in investing and potentially becoming users of the platform. Can you talk a little bit about some of the perks and benefits of becoming an investor in this current round?
Yeah, absolutely. So being new to the Reg A and Reg CF space, because as a traditional fund, we do much different vehicles, whether it's under 506 or subscription documents, tremendous due diligence. It interested me so much because no longer with this technology does someone have to have a $20 million account at JP Morgan to take part of the next what could be a unicorn IPO. Even these small companies like Moneyline start somewhere. So you can get into, we're raising just up to $3.5 million via Reg CF, registered with the SEC. And I'm so excited to offer this opportunity to the average investor that is a sports fan or understands sports betting and said, you know what, this company is very serious about going public. Management has an incredible investment banking background. So we're just a bunch of investment bankers, tech guys, sports fans and geeks that are all a part of Moneyline Sports, that for $500 you could be a part up to the IPO process as we continue down that road. And some of the perks that we give are, the easy ones are obviously free subscriptions to Sports Trader AI that run about 100 hours a month, but go all the way up to season tickets for games to NBA or NFL. And even for our $50,000 larger investors, we're giving Super Bowl tickets as some of the perks. But we've got some interesting things in there besides subscriptions, meaning a game of your choice for during the season of NBA or NFL, all the way up to Super Bowl tickets. So we tried to make it really enticing and get involved in the excitement of Moneyline.
Now, when I look at this opportunity, the things that kind of get me excited is budding market that's growing really, really fast. You're in a much more profitable position than necessarily the actual sports betting platforms, where it's less about worrying about that, the high switching costs and the customer acquisition costs and all of those things. I love the data play. I think that's a really profitable business to have. And it's just such a good category to be in right now as we see more and more states come online and allow sports betting to happen. And we just have so many novices in the market that are trying to play it like me, but have absolutely no idea of what we're actually doing. So I think you're very well positioned in the market. That to me is exciting. Of course, I still think you'll have some customer acquisition challenges and costs that come with that. But for those who are listening in, not from my perspective, what are some of the things that get you excited about this business? And if you're a potential investor, why should you be excited about the next 3 to 5 years in terms of a growth perspective?
We've seen, especially being involved as an activist investor and fund manager over many years, we've seen what happened to the crypto sector over the last year. and a lot of failings there. What happened, FTX, to name just the main one. We've seen what's happened on the NASDAQ in the tech sector. A lot of tech layoffs, major companies from Facebook, Meta, Google, all these tech jobs that are going. As an investor myself, I always like to choose what I believe have the least risk tolerance and inflation proof. What I've learned and been involved in is recession-proof businesses that I believe are obviously vice stocks. In good times, people are celebrating. In bad times, people are still sticking with their vices. To me, sports betting, there's always going to be fans, millions and millions of people. It's an international business, so we are talking about our predictable market share is in the billions of people, because sports is something that everyone celebrates and everyone gets around the world. So we feel that if we only get 1% of that market, but what we're doing very differently, that we should do very well succeeding as moving into a public company. So I believe that sports betting is a recession-proof business as we look at the rising interest rates, cost of housing, all these other things that play an event where we're looking to pick the right companies. Out of 6,000 companies on small cap or NASDAQ, how do you make that one decision? I think that our business model of an E-Trade for sports trading, that somebody like you that just wants to, again, get involved, to have somebody else using artificial intelligence and the best tools and engines that are out there today, just make that pick for you and show you the record of how we're doing. You're not going to win every time, absolutely, but it's about, just like you, we don't know even if we bought Meta today what their earnings are going to be and where that stock is going to go. But it's about providing the right information, and I think that model of subscription-based revenue, CPA affiliate-based revenue, of some of the strongest relationships with the right partners in the industry set us apart with the right business model. Again, we're not driving traffic and make our money by driving DraftKings or owning a sports book. We make our money by whatever choice you make. We want you, as you're walking into a stadium to watch the Jets, to download BetWallet before the game starts. And if you have that $50 that you want to put on it, make an intelligent decision with one login, all the book choices, and say, oh, this has got the best line. They're giving me a bonus. Let's play. And you can download the app via QR code or through the scoreboard screen or see it somewhere on a Videotron. That's where we're going, is to venue-tize our app as BetWallet. A very interesting case study happened a couple years ago. There was an app called Betcha. It was sold to Vivid Seats, NASDAQ Vivid, for $40 million or so, plus stock. They were one of the first venue-tized apps. And even that, at that time, it wasn't even real betting. It was just fantasy. And that's why I think BetWallet is that next $60, $100 million betting app that is agnostic, just lets the player play and bet with intelligent information.
Awesome. Well, Mike, this has been an absolutely illuminating conversation. I really appreciate it. Really love what you're building. And for those who are interested, you can currently invest in Moneyline Sports, and you should definitely check them out. Thank you so much, Mike, as always, for your time, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks so much for listening to the show. If you want to use the same tools I do to find amazing founders like the ones I have on the show to power your investment decisions, you can head on over to kingscrowd.com/startups to try out our Edge Toolkit for 30 days free.